Aloha and happy new moon. Blessings for the Cancer summer 2024. Summer in California, that is. It might be winter on the other side of the world, and I do know there are a few of you that are participating from that part of the world. Thank you. Happy winter. Give it a few more minutes as we collect, people join. It's been a very interesting cycle. I'm sure there's a lot of happening, expansion for everyone at this time. Here in the western part of the United States, California, the sun is at its peak. We can absolutely say that the sun is furthest, the earth is furthest from the sun. Pretty exciting. And that goes back to just referencing Canton Becker. Canton Becker is the subscription for your online programming, like the scheduler that you have, maybe a calendar, whatever e-calendar you use. I highly recommend, if you remember the very first session we had, very first few sessions we had, I referenced Canton Becker's subscription. It's the best tool. You can put it on your calendar. It shows you exactly when the new moons, when the full moons are. And he's got a lot of other extracurricular information, such as the distance from the sun. We're at the furthest point for the year as we roll back around. It's pretty exciting. Not necessarily something we talk about in Moonifesting, except we are today while we're waiting here. So I'll give it one more minute and feel free at your leisure to fill the chat box out and where you're calling or where you're joining from. Just as a reminder that we are in the new moon of Cancer and we are gathering all around the world for a circle. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here. Where's my share screen button? And give me a second while I hit present. Aloha! Let's do this. I hope it does this. There we go. I hope everybody can see this. Welcome to the new moon in Cancer, Crafting the Modern Goddess. This is a virtual new moon gathering. We meet every month, and this is today in Cancer. We have two more. If you would like to sign up for the next program for the next year, that will be up in a few weeks. So please, in your chat box, oh, there's a little delay. Welcome. I'd like to begin and share in that chat box by acknowledging the traditional custodians and owners of the land, which we circle today. The people of the Chumash and the nation of the United States here in Ventura County, California. And I pay my respects to all the ancestral stewards of this land, elders past and present. Feel free to plop in the chat box where you are located. And if you know the people and the nation of your traditional custodians, they love to be recognized. If you are unaware of who your original custodians of the land are, of where you reside currently, or you're currently connecting within this circle, because you could be on the road or traveling on holiday, Feel free to check online where you're at by going online native-land.ca, and you can punch in the zip code or the actual geo of the GeoNav, and it'll give you the information you're looking for. It's a great site. Let's go to the next slide. So every month we follow this program. This is the monthly schedule, and it's an ebb and flow, just like the moon cycles, ebb and flow. Yes, we're meeting in circle, except the energy of tides are ebb and flow. So every month we work the same schedule. We have a welcome introduction, an opening circle, the cosmic, we set intentions, crafting, reading, closing circle, ebb, flow. Before each circle, please gather your ritual items and arrive in a state of empty presence. Please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. This is a safe container for all. For my intention in creating this program, we grow through what you go through. So we as a circle will come together wherever we're at, and we'll learn about each other, and we'll grow through programs of ourselves, mind, body, spirit, and then we're going to go through it. So we grow through what we go through. That's a natural goddess cycle. So let's take a moment. I'm going to go ahead and stop share for just one moment and see who's checked in. Welcome, welcome everybody. Please take a look at each other. Take a moment who's in your circle and current. Maybe you know there's a few people that are already connected in the far. Welcome. Around myself and those I love, I cast the ring past not. Only pure love and good come from me, and only pure and love come to me. Feel free to repeat after me. I'll repeat it again. Around myself and those I love, I cast the ring past not. Only pure love and good come from me, and only pure love and good come to me. Imagine the golden circle around each of us and yourself, and feel free to take a moment and wrap yourself up in a bubble and put a little symbol at the top that represents you to close and lock that bubble tight for yourself and everyone in the circle. Welcome. I'm going to go ahead back to share. Here's our, you can find this every month located in the opening, in the PDF with the schedule. This is in there. So every month we have a different cosmic overview of the current energy of the planet today, how it relates to us today. And just as a reminder, how this works is you take your chart. Your chart is your birth chart when you're born. It's the moment, it's the snapshot of what the universe was doing. And then you read it like a clock. And then you take your chart, it's your map, and you take it to today's chart. Well, This is a loose rendition of today's chart. This is just as much information I possibly can in a short amount of time. So if you were to take today's chart and take a print and your chart, and you were to combine those two charts and you stick them up in the window, you'd be able to actually see how they look for you. You can measure today's world with your world and measure the two charts. And that's how we do cosmic readings, cosmic consciousness, bringing it from the heavens to the earth. So here we are today. Welcome to today. As a reminder, we're in the very beginning of a 20-year cycle. And even though you hear me say this for 5 months now, it's only 5 months in the beginning of a 20-year cycle. So I need you to remember that there's a lot of things in your life right now coming to a complete end. Do you feel it? I wonder what will happen next. I welcome you and invite you to get yourself a nice big note, a notepad, a post-it note, and write that down. Get yourself a dry eraser pen all over the house. Remind yourself this is your key consciousness tool for shifts and growth when there's something we have rapid changeover and we don't even know it's happening. It's happened. It's already happened. So, I wonder what will happen next. The next post-it note, why am I so blessed? So when the happening happens, why am I so blessed? It's only been 5 months you've been hearing me repeat this. 20-year cycles just beginning. Give yourself a break, please. Just release and relax and recline into the new cycle because it's really big and you need to give yourself permission to have a really big experience. It's important for you. So in general, today we have Mercury in Leo. Leo is all about confidence. It's about confident energy. We also have retrograde Saturn in Pisces. Saturn in Pisces retrograde really is, we talked about this last month, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's about trusting the process of introspection and inner growth, reviewing and reconsidering your personal beliefs, ideals, and rules that you define your life. Do these guidelines that you have lived by support your growth now and your well-being now? Be patient by trusting the process. It's a big process, and we just got started. Pluto is in retrograde, also in Aquarius. Remember, age of Aquarius. And Venus. Venus, love, sex, and money, the currency, what comes in, what comes out. We are in the depth of the emotional realm. You're in the thick of it. So it's the most perfect time to receive an energy therapy or go for spiritual therapy or some kind of something. I offer Rising Star Healing Therapy Systems. Rising Star Healing, which is an energy therapy. I know there's a lot of people on this program that are also practitioners and teachers of the Rising Star Healing System. I highly recommend that particular system because it is so life-changing. It really is. It's radical results when you deal with Rising Star. So that's my little blub for Rising Star. It's the time. And it's my birthday month. So I'm offering specials. Check out my website or check out my emails. Discount code. Okay, that's my little plug. Neptune went retrograde on the 2nd. This is kind of a big deal because our dreams, that big energy of the dreaming state and all those things we've been working on in the beginning of the year, just hit like a plateau and gave us the invitation to dive down, dive deep. Because the deeper we dive down, we can actually broaden our horizons. So, this vibe isn't about acquiring more information, like seeking from the outside. This is about doing your bigger work. It's inviting you to dive into your dreams and your intuition and uncover those hidden truths, like the things you just can't see because you had your blinders on. Sun's out so bright right now, it's going to shine the shadows out. So the hidden truths are going to shine. It's going to spark the imagination, allow the mystical introspection to meet the fiery self expression. Fiery, because the energy of Leo in Mercury, the fiery self expression. Embrace the magic and let your inner superstar shine. Sometimes we need to dive deep into the darkness of the ocean tides to really see what's down there. There's like gold down there. We don't even see that glistens, but when there's one little teeny bit of light, a whole illumination and a storyboard behind it. So for those of you creatives, it's a really good time to just get into the meditation, going back into energy therapy. This is that time for introspection. How are we doing on time? How are we doing on time? All right. The new moon today. Woo-hoo! Cancer, July 5th of the 2024 year. Mother Luna is home. Give me all those cancers out there, give yourself a nice big hug. It feels good to be in the current, right? And just like flow. It feels good to be home. You're always on the go. The tides are forever shifting. And in this moment, on a bigger cosmic ever source, the tides are shifting. Can you feel your own tides? Take that breath in. Nourish your soul. Now is the time to nourish your soul. Imagine yourself jumping into the ocean with this refreshing wave of nurturing water that just all the way over replenishes your spirit from the crown chakra all the way down. My Cancer's showing. Shh. Time to hold on to that inner child. It's very Cancer-like, playful, right? That comfort, always looking for comfort, which is never comfortable, if you haven't noticed. And reflection. Cancers always look at the past to go forward. And if you want to really think about the crab, I know the crab is a visual. Crabs don't step forward. Crabs step sideways, they step backwards, and then when it's time to step forward, they go super fast. So think about the crab energy within you, whether you have Cancer as a lead or a follow or a shadow. There's always Cancer in us. So where's the crab inside of you? In general, Cancers hold the lineage. They have that sense of home. They're always carrying their shell. They're extremely caring, sensitive, emotional. If for those of you who know me, sensitive and emotional is not something I can suppress. It just is. And so is that highly intuitive. That highly intuitive is my biggest on button. I can't turn off. So for those of you who are highly intuitive, you're feeling the on button right now. You're feeling the tide shifting right now. You're feeling yourself outgrowing your shell and not knowing which direction to walk. So this is really that time to dive into the like a sand crab goes into the sand. You really want to find your truest self and where your truest self meets your needs. So if it means you need to dive into the sand, dive into the sand. If it means you need a bigger home, then get a bigger home. If it means that you need to clean the house, then clean the house. Whatever that is for you, the Cancer adds the emotional bliss around the romantic equation. So there's a lot of love in the air. There's a lot of possibly sex in the air. Whew, my God, is there a lot of sex in the air? Turn those ordinary days of picture perfect romance into open, extraordinary sentiment. Because sometimes it's about the moment, about laughing so hard in a situation that you forget that it's romantic. Take a moment for the laughter to come through. This month is really about leaning into that self care, more energy therapy. Moonifesting practice is the perfect opportunity for today. I'm grateful for all of you joining forces in this group. Together, we create a quantum field, and it's by far the most effective way that we can use our energy to impact the collective. If you really want to make an impact on the collective, please join me in Circle. This is the way to do it. This is the immediate, most direct way to do it. And together, we can make waves. Woohoo! Let's be dolphins! Okay, I know, my geeky Cancer self. So, Cancer new moon, we have I feel. Cancer is also represents the universal mother. Have you ever felt mothered by me? I have no children, but I am a mother to everyone. So, for those of you Cancers that feel like me or have that sense of mothering, it's a universal mothering. It's so much deeper than the now. It's from before our lives, why we are here on purpose, and what we will be doing on our transition. It is that type of universal mother. And depending on your 5D chart, this could even go deeper into your higher consciousness. The organs that Cancer represents, and I have my hands, take your hand and rub it on your belly. Stomach. The digestives are really important for Cancers. In the summer, give yourself an opportunity to drink some sweet water. Sweet water is whole ears of corn. You take off the hard husk, you leave the soft husk on, you boil it, you steep it. It's kind of like a very short boil is a steep, and then you drink the water. That's called sweet water. That's a great way to move the energy in your abdomen, pushing all the summer stuff out. Organs, the mucocus, the ovary, the womb, the vagina, the breast, the I can't, perineum, the lymph system, and the breastbone. So very mothering, right? Like we have the mams, all the things we would need for procreation and mothering. This is that. Go book yourself a doctor, get yourself an appointment for some blood, get yourself some appointment for some OBGYN work. You earned it. You're female. And if you resonate as a female, this is the Goddess Gathering. This is your month to resonate under the moon and self-care. All right, full moon in Capricorn. So there's so much going on right now with the sun being really high here in the West. When the solar vibes are so high, the days are so long, there's so much to do. There's like a lot happening. Lot happening. So it's kind of nice in some ways that we have some planets in retrograde. because the planets in retrograde give us an opportunity to make focus in little chunk. I call them chunk downs. In NLP, neuro linguistic programming, we call it chunking down the responsibilities of the future. So when planets in retrograde, we give an opportunity to create stepping stones or chunking down, depending on how you're working in your chart, for the fall, for the winter. Okay. Let's move on to the full moon. We already know that the new moon and full moon, we have different cycles and lunations of the moon cycles that respect for the goddess. We can create, we can receive, we can give. There's so many beautiful ways, and I've offered that in different months. Not this month. This month I'm focusing on full moon and this opportunity to breathe. I'll move that. I hope everybody can hear me if I move that, but I just realized it was in half covering my face. I'll slow down. Summertime, summertime, summertime. Full moon in Capricorn, 29th. Oh, wait a second. What do I have this year? I made a mistake. I'm not quite sure why I did that. I'm going to have to reflect on that and contemplate my mistake. I believe it's the 21st. I don't know why I have the 29th. I'm going to have to reflect on that. Please give me a moment. It may not be this cycle that I remember. So let's talk about this. Has someone been dishonest with you? Breathe into that. Has someone been dishonest with you? You might ever be feeling that already and hasn't quite hit the hot air yet of your brain, of your crown chakra. Have you been dishonest with yourself? Maybe about that person, maybe about something else. Maybe you're ignoring something. Being ignorant or ignoring something is a form of dishonesty. So this full moon's going to give you the right perspective of astonishing discovery. It's going to give you an opportunity to transform that entire course of that future for the better. You're going to be able to nip, tuck, cut, paste, whatever you need to do this full moon. You're going to notice, because of the Cancer, a lot ruminating from the past, that should haves and could haves in the conversations, and the healings that are not always about rewinding the past, but learning to accept it, to do something with it. That's what's happening right now. We're reflecting, going really deep in those emotional waters. What are you going to do about it? One of the ways we as human beings reflect on ourselves is by watching others. And when we check in on that dishonesty aspect, when we watch others, it could be a client, it could be a colleague, it could be your assistant, it could be your partner. Whatever that is for you, you want to watch the others who constantly get stuck in that rewind, who are the ones who are constantly looping and always missing the opportunities here at the moment. I'm not talking about constantly being suspicious or looking for the problem, but being neutral for what things are versus what you really want them to be. And that will attract, like a magnet, the performance you're looking for. So, who's on your team? You can write a little post-it note to yourself if you want for a couple weeks out. Who's on my team? It's kind of a big cycle, even though it doesn't seem so big. It's really big. The sun is really shining a lot of light on any discernment that you've used in the past. You might have given a lot of leeway, or as my mom would say, you loosened the rope before they hung themselves, and now you're going to give them an opportunity to hang themselves, which sounds terrible, except it's coming from a Texan, and that's my mother. If you know her, you got to love her. Okay, let's see what we got next. Oh, let's go ahead and stop the share and see who's joined us. So for those of you who are ready to share your intention, let's go ahead and gather up our bits and pieces and decide on what works for you. How does that work for you? All that energy that we just discussed. Let's just take 3 deep breaths in. Hold and release. Breath number 2, deep breath in. Hold. Release. Breath number 3. Hold and release. What would you like to release? What habit no longer serves you? What would you like to bring in this month? What would you like to let go and release? And what would you like to bring in? Did I miss? Oh, here we go. Somehow I missed a lot of these. I apologize. I don't know what happened there. So to continue onto the cosmic while you're recognizing the now and our 3 breaths of moonifestation, while we let go and what we bring in. Contemplate that for a second. Well, I talk about the next auspicious, enlightening, cosmic alignment that's happening. Oops, So, have you ever heard of Lionsgate? The Lionsgate portal marks the alignment of the sun in Leo. So when the sun moves to Leo and the star Sirius is the brightest star in the sky. So if you go outside, we haven't had very clear skies lately. Tonight's our first clear night. So I'm really hoping to start seeing Sirius. But generally, we'll start seeing Sirius around this time. And it's the brightest star in the sky. It's in Orion's belt and the Earth. So depending on what part of the earth you're living in will depend on how and what time of night you see this. In astrological terms, the fixed star Sirius is known to have qualities of the planet Jupiter and the drive to get things done, making it a prime day for manifestation or concentrating or contemplating on what you really want to become in your reality. Consider this to be the new year, and this used to be the new year for Egyptians. It opens between this year, it starts around the 26th of July and it goes to about August 11th. And there's an actual, if you look online, you'll be able to see a visual online of a visual of what it actually looks like in the sky when you see the connection. The most potent time of Lionsgate is 888, August 8. And this year is a really big year because of the 888 year. August 8 of 2024 is also an 8. It's known as a galactic new year. So this year is a galactic new year. So the significance of the date being on the 8th day of the 8th month shouldn't be overlooked. It's a numerology. Individual digits are laden with meanings, and the number 8 means wealth, luck, and good energy or good fortune. When viewed on its side, it represents infinity and abundance. Each year, the portal opens when the new moon is in Leo, uniting the power of luminaries in the sign of Leo. So that's at the end of the month, but it's really important to recognize, even though we're kind of early right now or a few weeks out, we're going to hit that Lionsgate portal. So start thinking about what you want to shoot into your triangle when the 888 comes, because it's already going to start. So if anything, be focusing your target right now on that portal. Okay, next. Let's see if it works. There you go. Please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. Feel free to take a snapshot, print it out, make a sign for yourself. The future of disclaimers. All right, so let's go ahead and set the intention. What will you let go this cycle? And what will you bring in? Let's take a moment. So every month, Moonifesting, we have intentions, habit reminders, if you want to write notes to yourself, what you're going to let go and release. What will you let go and release? What will you bring in? Every month has a different profile. We just reviewed the Neptunes, the Lionsgate, the Capricorn. These are all the things we just reviewed. Every month will be the same. So the idea of these is that at the end of the year, you will have a collection, one for each month, maybe two for each month, and you can create a book. So a book for 23, 24, and then next year you can have a next book, 24 or 25. And each way you can measure the results. So maybe you set the intention this year, but it showed up next year. It's a great way to measure your results and work in flow and work in tribe. So for those of you who are new at chunking down or creating a positive reframe for intention setting, this is a practice. A lot of people are very naturally human beings, and human beings by nature we're born positive, but our delivery in life is negative. So We're always in deletion mode. A lot of people come to me as a consciousness life coach and they have a goal. The goal, I can absolutely tell you with science and backing and everything I know, that the more positive you are about your return, you will achieve. So if you show up with a negative, like, I do not want these things, that you're going to actually get those things because the brain doesn't know the difference. When you say, this is what I want, the body and everything around you will support the what you want because that's the way the body works. So in the process of this chunking down, it takes a minute. If you've lived in a negative world in a long most of your life, it's a muscle that is easier and habitual to go to the negative than it is the positive reframe. Maybe you just don't even know what it is. So this manifesting step down is your tool to help you go from the negative to the positive. That's all this is. Because you get what you get and you can't get upset. So let's be really clear about manifesting. If this and this, but this. If you're stuck in a negative cycle, this is your easiest way to chunk down to get to the new cycle. If you've never done it before, if it's new for you, if it's not new for you, then you're going to go straight to the positive. That's what I had before. So here's the cycles, modern age. How are we on time? All right, I got to speed up here. Moonifesting, again, another PDF for your leisure. You have your fortnights, your half moons, your new moons, your full moons, all the things you would need to create a good moon hygiene for yourself. You can set a schedule ahead of time if you know your schedule. And if you have assistance or have help and you don't do a lot of the hygiene for yourself, just put it in your schedule. They'll follow your lead. You pay them. All right. It's time for crafting. Let me check in and see how we're doing. All right, beautiful. So for this crafting, we use two hands. These are great ways for manifesting the energy. And in the love of Cancer, oh yes, another PDF for your leisure and for your use for your book, Modern Goddess Crafting, New Moon Intentions. What are you grateful for now? Stick with the now. What are your recipes? This is the theme. The theme is Cancer. It's water energy. We're focusing on brewing. We have the ingredients. What's your flow cycle? Well, I haven't been flowing in quite a while. I just want to remind everybody that I stopped flowing in my 20s and then had a little spick of time a flow and then back out of flow. So if you are in flow, this is a great way to measure your results in flow. And if you're out of flow, that's okay. We're creating flow by sticking with the new moons and full moons. That's why we do this, moonifesting. How's your sleep? You can measure your sleep based on your flow and your energy level. These are all great ways to measure results from when we're sending something out. And then, of course, at the very bottom of your book, you've got to have when do those results come in? How do you manifest it? Measuring results are really important. So we're moonifesting, but just because we're planning and sending all this energy out doesn't mean we have to pay attention. We absolutely have to pay attention to when it gets complete. That's mindfulness. Welcome to Crafting the Cancer New Moon. How are we doing here? Let me check in. Just got, it's the hottest day of the year here. And it's the first time we haven't had our fog, our natural air conditioning. So it's a little warmer than usual. Here we go. Moving on to the next slide here. Crafting the Cancer New Moon. Let's just take a moment here and think about all that beautiful water that we have in our life, how we want it for others, how we love to feed our plants and fruits and vegetables and our animals that clean water. It nourishes our soul. It's sacred. It's 85% of our bodies runs water. The percentage of the earth is water. Clean water. So this is crafting and taking water, clean water. I have reverse osmosis personally. And then I have another bottle from the mountain spring from when I was out of town last month when we went up to the Sierra Nevada. So the other thing I have here is the quartz crystal. This one's a Lumerian sea crystal that has a little rainbow in there. It might be hard to see from this angle. Let's see if we can get a little rainbow. No rainbow. I don't see it. So I'm going to go ahead and place the clear quartz. I know it's clean. I already cleaned it into my little bucket here. Now, if you don't have a bucket, that's okay. You can stick it just right into the bottom of your glass. It's fine. You just might have a little extra cleaning to do at the end. And then tonight I'm going to use amethyst tea. So this is a loose tea. It's got, smells so good. Delicious. Oh my gosh, we're so lucky. I just am going to give a little shout out to Gina up in Ojai. She has magic hour teas from the time to infinity and beyond, right? And she has all different types of loose teas. If you don't know Gina, she used to have another company that was bought and sold. So now she has same teas, if not better teas, up in Ojai, and she just opened a tea shop. So congratulations, Gina. And for those of you who don't know Magic Hour teas, I highly recommend them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you my tea. It's got rose, it's got hibiscus, strawberry, perfect strawberries for summer. Black pea. So the blue pea is going to be really nice in that because it'll turn my water. So I'm going to give myself 2 scoops. So go give yourself a couple scoops. All right, so give yourself optional tea. There we go. What's happening here? So this ritual for moon water or moon tea is really about taking the moon's energy and your water and charging the water. So at this point, you're going to give it yourself some nice energy. A lot of these teas that you have, especially a green or white tea, steep in cool temperatures. So steeping in the moonlight is a really beautiful, different way to taste your tea. It's not in a hot based boil or steep. It's a cool steep. So I highly recommend that experience for you, and that's why we have this craft for this month. So you want to get your favorite jar with a lid with fresh spring or distilled water, in this case reverse osmosis. You want to fill up the jar. You can repeat your monthly intention that we just worked on. You want to place that water jar with the tea in the moonlight and leave it in the moonlight or full moon. It says overnight in the full moon, but you can also do it in the new moon, which is what we're doing tonight, dark of the moon. And when your cycle is complete with the clear intention, pour your ritual water into your favorite outdoor manifesting tree or drink it in. That's totally up to you. It just depends on how clean your water is. So before we get started, let's just take a moment and think about how we're charging our energy. So I have a little poem here. So if you need a second to read it, let's go ahead. I'm going to open up my lid. with clear intention, creating a wave of intuitive energy that refreshes your spirit. O Great Spirit, under the darkness of this new moon, we seek the wisdom of our grandmothers and the nurturing embrace of Mother Earth. May the seeds of our intentions be planted deeply in the soul of our hearts, ready to grow and flourish with the warmth of summer. We call upon the spirit of renewal and rebirth, asking for guidance and strength to embrace new beginnings. Let the wisdom of our ancestors guide us as we bloom flowers and radiant, full of life. And so it is. Go ahead and top your lid off. Let's take a moment, stop the share and check in, see how everybody's doing. If anybody would like to share, feel free to share. Or you can drop an email if you're watching this video at home and you want to share. We'll share it. We'll have more information. There's also the Facebook page. All right. So for time and purposes sake, I hope you enjoy your water and your brew. I'm going to go put that outside, watch the brew, maybe soak in my hot tub. So I'm going to go ahead and take a moment. We'll do another couple breaths. So when we breathe, it's really vital for our system. When we do the 3 breaths in, hold, release, hold, in, hold, release, hold. Constant pattern. If it's not a square, it's a triangle. So let's go ahead and pick a card. Woohoo! Well, this month, because it's watery, I'm going with the dolphins. Let's see. Whoops. Shake my box. So my little Romanian box. So in my box, I've got all the little cards here. Whoops. And the dolphins. Let's go ahead. Clear your brain, clear your mind, clear your heart, deep breath in. Get all the energy charging. Touch. The first card is touch. Are we ready for that massage? Boy, am I ready for that massage. I'm going to get a belly massage. Clearing the brain. Let's get another card. What do we need to know right now? Abundance. We are in an abundant state of everything. Everything we need is happening now. Let's go ahead and pick the third card. appropriate, Cancer. Hidden treasures. Couldn't get better than that. We have touch, abundance, and hidden treasures. Touch, abundance, hidden treasures. What? That is so Cancer. So Cancer. All right. How's everybody doing? Thank you very much for everybody who's come today. What we grow through is what we go through. The ebb and flow of the circle is the beauty of it. So whether you're near, in, or far, we are together. So let's take a moment with your sisters, your goddesses, while we craft our circle and remind ourselves why we're here and how important this circle is. And as we close, please repeat after me in your own time and space. The circle is open, but unbroken. May the peace of the goddess stay in your heart. Merry meet and merry part. Merry meet again. Namaste. Thank you very much for coming, everybody. I'm so grateful for the goddesses. As a reminder, next month in Leo, the 2nd of August at 5:30 p.m. in Pacific time is our next gathering online. You can always find this information in the portal. Under the portal for each month, we have all of the PDFs, everything you need, and the recordings. And as a reminder, the recording will be sent to you so you can watch it at your own time and space. Let's just take one more deep breath in and end with a nice big together. Namaste, goddesses. Enjoy the Cancer new moon. We'll see you next month. Reach out with any questions and stay tuned for the updates for the next year. I look forward to playing with you and gathering and creating and crafting the goddess, modern goddess. Take care. Namaste. Bye, everyone.